Give Black people a break. You know what I'm saying? What are you going to do to ensure that no other Black body is murdered by the police?
Janelle Monae knows who she is. She's a performer and she's walking completely in her purpose. Always has been, to be honest. She's not a politician, but she does use her work as an artist and her platform to amplify. And woo, get ready for all what's coming. She has new music out, the first since her 2018 Grammy-nominated and landmark album, Dirty Computer, and quite frankly, it's a lot like the music she's given us over the years. Turntables has something to say, and is featured in the Amazon Studios documentary, All In, The Fight for Democracy, which is now streaming exclusively via Amazon Prime Video. She also has a co-starring role in The Glorias and now Antebellum, her first time leading a film. We chat. So we first obviously met you as a musician, but you've always been a performer. Was it that you had to make a choice at some point, or how did that actually start off for you?
No, I think, growing up acting and singing and just being like a student of the arts, I'm still a student of the arts, and I just, my roles pick me. I don't pick them. And if I need to be writing an album, I write an album. If it's time for me to do a film and tell a story, I do that. And I go where I feel like I can lend my voice, lend my platform, and I go where I can really tell the truth.
You had such a beautiful reception, I think, into the world of Hollywood, because of course, the first two projects that you do were nominated and were discussed, and people were just so in awe of the performances specifically that you turned in. What did that feel like to you? Was that very validating, or did that, maybe it was just affirming that you were making the right choices for yourself?
Well, I didn't know, those are my first films. I didn't know when I was filming Moonlight that then Hidden Figures was going to come out, and, we'd be at the Oscars nominated for two films. And I didn't know that. I just knew how I responded to the projects and how I felt like this is the representation that we need, and I want to be a part of this. So yes, I'm going to figure out how to make that happen in between going on tour and releasing an album. So yeah, I always think about the work and the art and not the pressure that comes with it. And, I have to stay rooted in purpose and not in the politics.
I love that. That said, you definitely want to encourage people to get out there and vote. You have some new music, the first since 2018, and that very much game-changing album that you gave us. Tell us a little bit about Turntables and why you wanted to contribute to this project.
Turntables is about the tables turning. It's about the rooster coming home to roost. It's about the revolution. When you look at a record, the spinning of a record is the revolutions per minute. Everything is changing right now, and Black people are changing, and we are at the center of it. We've always been. But this is just highlighting what that revolution sounds like and feels like, and hopefully we can galvanize ourselves outside of just being numb to everything that is going on, and to continue to encourage those who are on the front lines, still fighting, boots on the ground, to know that the tables are absolutely indeed turning in their favor. I'm not a politician. I am an artist, and I'm also a United States citizen. For me, connecting with Stacey Abrams, who is so for the people, I lived in Atlanta, Georgia. I was there when Brian Kemp stole the election from Stacey. And I told her, call me. If you ever need me, I'm here for you. And she did. And I got an opportunity to watch her documentary, which just really solidified my love for her even more. She's the real deal and for the people, and I want her to run for president. What I wanted to do, I was not looking to go into the studio. I honestly didn't feel like I had it in me, but it was her who said, listen, and the directors of the documentary, who asked me to watch the documentary, and if something resonated with me, if I could contribute a new song. And after I saw it, I was really moved, and I went into the studio and I wrote it. And I wasn't really thinking about Stacey. I said, I have to write from what do I want to hear? What do I think needs to be said right now? And I said, I'm going to turn this in. If they say change a lyric or do something, I don't think I'm going to be able to be a part of it, but I'll support her in another way. And when I turned it in, they loved it and welcomed it with open arms.
Ooh, I'm laid out because you're not only giving us this new music, but also some really great new projects that also contribute to a conversation all of us are having right now. The hottest ticket, I think, at Sundance earlier this year was The Two Glorias. I couldn't even get a ticket in to see it, and it was first on my list. Tell me a little bit about that project and why you wanted to be part of it.
Well, I think Gloria Steinem is for the people as well, and she has really understood intersectionality a lot more than a lot of white women, in her age group.
Yeah.
And I played Dorothy Pittman Hughes, this Black woman, this icon that not a lot of people know about. But Dorothy Pittman Hughes helped Gloria Steinem with her public speaking, and she also helped found Miss Me magazine with Gloria and a lot of other women. And I was just honored to be able to highlight this businesswoman, this community leader. She was like the first Black woman in Harlem to have her own store. And so I just knew her from that iconic picture with Gloria where she had her fist up in the air. But I didn't know too much about her.
I think, as I told you earlier this summer, the last film that I saw in a theater was Antebellum. It was obviously a very early screening. The thing that really kind of stood out to me is, I think ever since the 2016 election and all the conversations that sparked up because of it, I was waiting to see how Hollywood would respond to it. And this film felt very much like a direct response to what was happening. Was that what gravitated you towards this project as well?
Yes, this project is for now, but it does a very effective thing by connecting the dots to the past, the present, and what could be the future. And that's why I wanted to do this project, because we have to remember and never forget that the past is not dead. The past is not even the past, right? We can't even talk about police brutality or Black Lives Matter or white supremacy or systemic racism without acknowledging chattel slavery as one of the origins of all of this. And knowing that I'm not here, you're not here, we're not here, or I'll just speak for me, I'm not here because I wanted to be here. It's because my ancestors were stolen and forced to be here. When I think about not only did they steal our ancestors, they stole ancestors who were doctors, who were lawyers, who were authors, like Veronica Henley. They stole musicians, they stole mothers and fathers and pillars in the community. And during the Civil War, one of the earliest institutions of policing was the Slave Patrol, which was meant to kill and hunt down any of the runaway enslaved people, to kill and hunt down anybody who was trying to cause a revolt. Like this wasn't a police built in the South on protecting and serving our communities. No, this was specifically to terrorize Black people.
What would you love for people to take away from this film?
I would love for white people privileged in this country and those who specifically benefit from the racist policies to want to dismantle and deconstruct racism. And start inward, start with your families first, have conversations and do the work needed. Read the books. I'm reading this book, How to Be an Anti-Racist by Ibram, which I've been finding, is not just for white folks, Black folks too. And I think it's important that the work is done. Like don't just hashtag, but really figure out how you're going to, if you're a lawmaker, if you're in the position of power, how are you going to dismantle those systems? Give Black women a break. Give Black people a break. You know what I'm saying? What are you going to do to ensure that no other Black body is murdered by the police? What are you going to do? How are you going to help show up for marginalized voices? And that's what I hope by me humanizing Veronica and understanding that when you silence a Black woman, you're silencing a mother, you're not only just a human being that deserves to speak and talk, and live freely. But this is a mom. This is somebody who matters to society. This is somebody who is important to our community. When one of us is killed, you are pulling out a brother, you pulling out a sister. You know, this is not just somebody that has black skin. We matter. And so that's what I hope. And my other hope is that, you know, one that we can all watch it with friends and with family and discuss, you know, talk about our history, talk about, you know, what it has taken for us to get here and not get fatigued, not give up, not lose hope, but to understand that we are going to prevail.
Janelle Monae, take them to school as you always do. Thank you so much for sitting down and chatting with me today. I always love talking to you. You know that.
You too, Kelley. It's such a, you know, it's such a beautiful thing to speak with you and to see your smile. So stay safe, stay healthy. And thank you for watching the films and wanting to talk to me. Until next time.
Coming up on the next episode of Another Act is executive producer and TV director Maurice Marable.